Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we talk about all things financial literacy. And today I'm going to be doing an update on how to remove late payments from your credit report. There's two methods that I've shown on this channel. Both of them have seemed to work fairly well for a majority of most of you, but then some of you are still having some issues. So I wanted to, make an update for going beyond round 1 and 2. If you're new to this channel and you haven't seen these videos, I'm going to attach them because in order for you to understand what I'm talking about, you're going to have to watch the other 2 videos first. So if you haven't seen them yet, they're going to be in a compilation in this video. So bear with me. I'm going to give you some alternative methods, and I'm also going to give you something else that you can try in addition to the other 2 that we have already discussed on this channel. So when you get to round 2, I ask for documentation. If you have not seen an update, you need to get more specific with the documentation. And as an example, if you ask for a previous statement, you may want to ask them to provide something that's very, very hard to actually get. Like, can you provide me with the exact statement that I had and shows that I was late? Can you provide me with a actual transcript of when you talked to the original creditor? I want to see that what they said, this was actually on time. You just have to get more specific with what you're asking for in order to get them to do the update. The more specific the documentation or the more specific their request, the more likely it is it'll get updated. The other thing is, if it shows that it has been updated, but there's been no changes, some of you may also have noticed that as well. You need to take a screenshot of the original dispute, start a new one, and then show where it shows that it was updated, but that there are no changes. And you can state that I see that there's been an update to my report, but it seems no one actually made the change. Can you please update my report from here, late, to paid on time? As my previous requests, I asked for this update. I see that you tried to update it, but it has not taken effect yet. Try something like that. See if that works out for you. You should be able to get an update on that late payment. Now, there's one more option that you can try here. The other one that I'm going to suggest is the CARES Act. So if you're not familiar with this, there was a federal law that prohibited negative credit reporting, and that was the CARES Act. It was signed into law March 27th, 2022, and it was something that was to stop adverse credit reporting during the COVID-19 crisis. And there was actually specific circumstances that you needed to be in order for that to happen. Now, while those specific circumstances, you're probably wondering if those things apply to you. I'm not saying that they did or they didn't. That's not really the point. The point is that if you got a late payment in between the period that was stated, which would be January 31st, was actually when the period started, January 31st, 2020, until 120 days after enactment of the CARES Act, or 120 days after the end of the National State of Emergency Declaration, which was May 11, 2023. This could potentially work for you. So you have a lot of time to actually work with if we're talking about January of 2020 all the way to May 11, 2023. All right. So that is a big time frame. And then I'm giving an example of something that you can say. I'll also create a link to the CFPB if you want more information on this. That way you can read on it. Again, this is something that I haven't personally tried yet, but it's something that I would like to suggest that you maybe take a look at and see if it works for you. This is the one time I would say you can actually select this for multiple late payments. If they fail anywhere between January 31st, 2020, and they fail between May the 11th of 2023. Anytime in that time frame, you can try this to actually get multiple late payments updated. So here is the example verbiage. The delinquent payment showing on my credit report from month and year. You would put the month and year of the late payment, and you can put like a period of time if you want. But the delinquent payment showing on my credit report month and year was a result of my job loss due to COVID-19. The CARES Act, which was signed into law March 27, 2020 and ended May 11, 2023, amended the Fair Credit Reporting Act to stop adverse credit reporting during the COVID-19 crisis under these circumstances. Please update this information to paid as agreed for the following time period. There you go. It's short and sweet. You can pause the video, screenshot this, and then copy it, or just pause the video, write that verbatim, whichever one you would prefer. If you like, I'll put it in the description as well under the link, and you can just copy it and you can try this. So that is my update for this method, or something else that you can try in addition to what you can do for round 3 and beyond. So thank you so much for watching this video. Again, I'll leave the updated verbiage in the description if you want to try that CARES Act method. Also, take heed of what we said for round 3 and beyond. If you haven't tried this at all, the next 2 videos are coming up, but the link is in the description, and you can try each method and see if that works for you. If it doesn't, refer back to this video, and then you can try the CARES Act method, or you can also look at the update for round 3. You more than likely got one of these, and you can then understand what I was talking about if you were new and haven't tried any of these for the first time. So again, thank you so much, and you guys have a wonderful day. Did you know on-time payments account for 35% of your overall credit score? That's the biggest factor affecting your credit score to date. If you had a perfect credit score right now and you were to have a late payment report 30 days past due, it could drop your score on average 100 points. Not to mention it stays on the report for up to 7 years. So today, I'm going to show you step by step how to remove late payments from your credit report. We're not going to be writing goodwill letters. We're not going to call. I'm going to show you online how to remove late payments from your report step by step as fast as possible. All right, so the first thing we're going to do to get started, we're going to go to either Experian.com, or you can also use Identity IQ. My preference is Experian. With Experian, you can get all 3 credit bureau reports, and you can get it for TransUnion, Equifax as well. I use them a majority of the time. Identity IQ is also very good. If you don't have either account, I recommend maybe Identity IQ to start. You can start a free trial with them for as low as $1 if you don't have an account right now. If not, you can just use whichever one you prefer. But I recommend that you use one of these 2. So if you don't have an account with either one of these 2, first thing we want to do is create an account, and then we want to log in. So I'm going to give you a second to log into either Experian, Identity IQ. If you don't have an account, create one, and then I'll see you at the next step. All right, so once we're logged into Experian or Identity IQ, we're going to scroll down and we're going to find the account that's late. For this example, I'm going to be using this Credit One bank account. So we see we have a late payment here. We're going to click on that account. All right, so for this account, there's a late payment in September, and there is a late payment in October. No data for November, and no data for December. Now, I'm using this account as an example, and we're only looking at the Experian part of the credit reports right now. Let's say that this same account with Credit One was to have 30 days past due in September and 60 days in October. But then we looked at our TransUnion report, and September was paid on time, but it was 30 days late in October. That would be an inaccuracy. And then we would also look at the same thing with Equifax. So with this account, I believe that at the time, because I can't pull up the other report for TransUnion or Equifax right now, but in this example, September's 30 days late, you're 60 days late in October. The other one for TransUnion or Equifax, they had the opposite, like paid on time, but 30 days late in October. That is an inaccuracy, and that's an inaccuracy that we can actually use. So what I would normally do is take this, and then I would screenshot it. If you're on a MacBook, it's Shift-Command-3. Screenshot that, and I would probably screenshot the top 2 so you can get the account information here. So Shift-Command-3. That way we have the Credit One name here. We have the account number. We have this showing as 30 days late and 60 days late, right? And then we're going to screenshot this. We would then upload this to the CFPB, and then we're going to use this screenshot in our dispute. So Again, right now, this is the only account that I have as an example. But what you'll want to do is just make sure that you find the account that's late. You want to make sure to get the account number. So make sure that you have that account number copied, because we're going to need this account number when we go and file the dispute with the CFPB, right? And then we want to make sure to have the screenshot of this payment date for September and October. And we want to make sure that we're reporting 2 late payments. So once you gather all your information, you're going to copy the account number. You're going to get a screenshot of that account that is late from the payment history legend. All right. We're going to go over to the CFPB, and then we're going to file this complaint. Now, before we go ahead and file that complaint with the CFPB, I always like to pull up the Cornell Law School compliance procedure. So that's 15 U.S. Code 1681E. And the part that we're always looking at is the B section, accuracy of report. So whenever a consumer reporting agency prepares a consumer report, it shall follow reasonable procedures to assure maximum possible accuracy of the information concerning the individual about whom the report relates. So this is actually what we're going to use in our dispute, right? We're going to be using the accuracy of a report. We're going to go ahead and let them know that that account was not late, and it's up to them. The burden of proof is on the consumer reporting agency. You have to understand, the credit bureaus are not government entities, right? They're just data furnishers, right? You need to make sure that they're reporting accurate information on your credit report, right? And the burden of proof is always on them to prove that something is not inaccurate. It's not on you, okay? We're just trying to make sure that our report is 100% accurate. It's up to them to gather information to determine if that's not true. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to take what we have here, the 15 U.S. Code 1681E compliance procedure, section B, and I'm going to show you how we're going to use this in order to file our dispute with the CFPB on the next step. All right, so now we're on the CFPB. That's the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And I want to read this too. So we're the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, a U.S. government agency dedicated to making sure you are treated fairly by banks, lenders, and other financial institutions. So again, the credit bureaus are just data furnishers. The CFPB is an actual government entity, right? So this is the only real bureau, right? The other ones are just companies that furnish information. This is the only government agency, right? So this is who they have to answer to in case we have any complaints. So we'll start by submit a complaint, and then we're going to scroll down. Start a new complaint. If you have an account, you're going to go ahead and already submitted a complaint or created your account. We'll click on that. You'll sign in at the next step. If you don't have an account, just take the time, fill out this first name, last name, email, phone number, and you're going to create a password. You'll sign up and you'll verify your email. And once you've done that, or you've logged in, then we'll proceed to the next step. All right. So once you're logged in, we're going to go to start a new complaint. All right, the option that we're looking for is credit reporting and other personal consumer reports. So we're going to click on that. And what type of credit reporting product? We're going to go to credit reporting. All right, and then we're going to go to improper use of your report. So share it without consent, credit inquiries from unknown sources. Right. And then reporting company used your report improperly. And then have you already tried to fix this problem with the company? You want to always click yes. Did you request information from the company? You want to click yes. What information did you request? In this case, we can say statement proving I was late on this account. And did the company provide this information? Just always select no, they did not provide this information. All right, so we're going to fill out all this information. Again, improper use of your report. Reporting company used your report improperly. Did you already try to fix the problem? Yes. Did you request the information from the company? Yes. The information statement proving I was late on this account. And did the company provide this information? No. So fill all that out and then I'll see you on the next step. All right, so on the next step, I've already typed out exactly what we're going to want to say. You can modify this slightly. I always recommend just maybe changing it up just a little bit. Or if you want to take it verbatim, then you can. So I recently reviewed my credit report and noticed an account that was not reporting accurately. I had 2 late payments, or 1, depending on what you're doing. I had 2 late payments on an account that was in fact paid on time. The consumer reporting agencies need to report all information with complete accuracy. Let me just fix that. This account has not been late on payments. I've attached a copy of my report to this complaint on the following dates. You want to make sure to insert the dates here, and you want to use the 2-digit date. So if it's February 2024, you want to do 02//24. I'm now requesting you investigate and provide verifiable proof with records showing that I had late payments. If this information cannot be verified, I demand these payments be updated to paid on time immediately. Thank you for your understanding and prompt action. So anything along these lines is fine. You can modify it slightly, change a little bit of the words. If not, use the same one. Just be mindful if you do copy this directly, make sure you update it to the payments that you have. Now, I recommend that you don't do this for more than 2 late payments. If it's 1 or 2, then that's good. If it's 2 or more, you might want to attack this differently. You might want to do like in sets, like 1 late payment, let it get updated, and then do, if it's 2 more, then do the other 2. But I wouldn't try to do it all at one time. I would try to do just maybe no more than 2 at a time. So what would be a fair resolution to this issue? Update the account to paid on time and never late. Very, very simple, straight to the point. And you attach your documents. So you see the screenshots that we took. I've attached them here, and then they'll be forwarding them to the company. So take a look. If you need to copy that, and then this here too. All right. And then we're going to be moving on to the next step. All right. So on the next step, we're going to type out all the companies that we're disputing with. So we're going to start with Experian. And you could pretty much pick any one of these. Experian at the top, Experian Credit Reporting Agency, Experian Credit Reporting, Experian Credit Bureau. So let's just do Experian Credit Reporting Agency. And then you're going to enter your social security number, your name as it appears on the credit report, and your date of birth. So whatever your social is, you can enter that. You can enter your date of birth. Now, this is important. However your name is shown on the Experian credit report, you want to enter that. So if your name was Steven and it's showing Stephen, last name Smith, you want to enter it like that. If your middle name was James, Stephen James Smith, you want to enter it just like that. If they had your name with capital PHEN, however it's shown on your credit report, that's the exact way you want to make sure to enter it. Okay, so just make sure to enter that exactly how it's shown on that report. So however they did it, enter it like that. Do you want to complain about another company? Yes. Let's add TransUnion now. So for TransUnion, same thing. I'll use TransUnion with the capital, TransUnion Intermediate Holdings Inc. Or TransUnion Credit Reporting Agency. So whichever one you want to enter. Have you already tried to fix this problem with the company? So we want to enter the exact same information. Yes. Did you request information from that company? Yes. What information did you request? And say the same thing. A statement proving I was late on this account. All right. Did the company provide this information? No. So we want to enter all the same things, right? And then we're going to enter the same exact information, social security number, date of birth, same thing. And then again, however your name appears on TransUnion, you want to enter it like that. You may have multiple names. If you do have multiple names, you should refer back to my video about removing personal information. I'm going to link that video right around here so you can watch that. Okay. So however it appears, let's say on this one, it has the first name, middle name, and a last name. However it appears, we're going to enter it that exact same way. All right. And then do you want to complain about another account? Yes, we do. We want to complain about Equifax. And then same thing, Equifax Credit Bureau, Equifax. So Equifax Credit Bureau. Have you already tried to fix this problem with the company? Yes, we did. Did you request information from the company? Yes, we did. What information? A statement proving I was late on this account. Same information. Did the company provide this information? No. All right. And then same thing, social security number, name as it appears, and date of birth. So you want to run through and just enter all this information for all three credit bureaus. Once you're done, then I'll see you on that next step. All right. So this is the last step, step 5. It's going to ask, who are you submitting this complaint for? I'm going to click on myself, but after I click on myself, I'm going to cut to the end because my personal information does come up. But when you're submitting this, click on myself, okay? And then we're going to look at the review and then we're going to get to the very end. So after I clicked myself, all I did was simply scroll down to the very bottom and then you're going to click on review. All right, so it's going to have you review the complaint. You're going to scroll down and you're going to see all the same information. Again, it shows some personal information. So I'm just going to scroll down to the very bottom. All right, so you're at the very bottom. You just want to authorize and direct the consumer reporting agency identified in my complaint to share determinations and actions taken by the company for the purpose of responding to my complaint. Cool. The information given is true to the best of my knowledge and belief. We want to check these and then you want to submit the complaint. So that is all the steps that I have for you today in getting late payments removed from your credit report. We're pretty much all done. Review the information, make sure that you have everything completed. If you don't receive an email within like 2 or 3 minutes showing that the complaint is completed, you do want to make sure that you go back and submit the complaint again. If you sometimes go back or refresh the page, the complaint does not get submitted. So you want to make sure, use an email that you're actually going to have access to. You want to make sure that you get an email confirming that the complaint was submitted. And then you can go back into your account and you can see that the complaint was submitted. All right. So all I can recommend is that you guys, if you've done this to get the late payments, I suggest going to watch my video about personal information, checking out the videos about removing hard inquiries and also about removing the collections. This was a video that was requested in the comments. So thank you. If you guys have any more ideas for videos that you want to see, please leave it in the comment at the bottom so that I can make those videos for you too. Whatever you think that you have questions about, please let me know. I'll do my best to make a video for that. I appreciate all the love that I've been getting. We're almost at 100 subscribers, and I think it's been like less than a week. So I appreciate you guys so much. We're growing fast. You guys have a wonderful day. Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith, and today we're going to be discussing the removal of late payments once again, but I wanted to give an updated version to my original video. In my original video, I was showing you how you can compare two different credit reports where, let's say, one showed that you were 30 days late on June 2024. The other one might show that you're paid on time for June 2024 for like Experian and TransUnion. How you can use both of those to screenshot that and send it to the credit bureau so that they'll update it. But I had someone ask me, what do you do if all of the credit bureaus are reporting the same information accurately? Well, there's another way that we can still dispute that account, even if the credit bureaus are reporting accurately from all of the accounts. And I'm going to show you a few different ways that we can approach this. And I'm going to show you from at least a few different examples. And then I'll also give you some verbiage that you can use, and I'll give you an example of what you would do with round 1 and round 2 by sending this off to the CFPB. All right. So we're going to start by going to Experian. If you want to get all 3 of your credit reports completely free, go to annualcreditreport.com. You can get your credit reports free once per week. Now, keep in mind, if you are in dispute with TransUnion will not allow you to see your credit report while you are in dispute. So if you can't get TransUnion, grab Equifax and grab Experian. And then the TransUnion report, you can make an account online. You might be able to see it there. TransUnion's a little bit iffy with that. But, just be aware that if you're currently in dispute, you can't look at your TransUnion report from annualcreditreport.com. All right, so I have an old account pulled up here as an example. And for this account, it is 30, 60, 90, 120, and 120 days late again, repeatedly. Now, I'm going to show you how we can dispute this account, even though we may not have another account to compare it to, and what you can actually say in order to get this late payment removed from this account. Now, you can contact the credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, and you're going to tell them something along the lines of, you would like to dispute this account because it was paid on time. Now, of course, the account was not paid on time, but we are going to be disputing it with them and letting them know that it was indeed paid on time. You only want to dispute no more than 2 at one time. Look at the payment summary. Look at it. Only try to dispute 1 at a time. And here's my recommendation. Start with the 30-day. Start by disputing the 30-day late payment. If you have only a 30-day, then that's the only one that you can dispute. But if you're in this type of situation where you have a 30, a 60, a 90, and beyond, start with the 30-day, dispute that one by itself. Here's why. If we dispute this 30-day and we get this 30-day updated, that automatically makes 60, 90, 120, and 120 wrong. So once the 30-day gets updated, you can ask the credit bureaus to update 60 and 90, because there can't be a on-time payment, then 60, then 90. That would be inaccurate. So you can then ask 2 at a time. And then if this is paid on time, and this is paid on time, and this is paid on time, then we can ask them to update July and August respectively, right? Because that would just make sense. Once the 30-day is fixed, it gives us the perfect ammunition to get these other ones updated, because one 30-day late payment being updated makes every other late payment inaccurate. Now, in that situation, you have other options as well. Let's say that the payment gets updated on Experian where 30 days is paid, but then on TransUnion, it doesn't. You can then even screenshot this information, even though it's inaccurate, right? You can still screenshot with April 2022 or whatever the year and date is paid, and you can send that to TransUnion and show them, hey, my Experian credit score shows that this was indeed paid on time. Or do the same thing with Equifax. The great thing is, once you start getting one updated, you can start playing them against each other to get the rest updated until eventually everything is updated. This process will work. It's just tedious. It takes a lot of time. If you try to do multiple late payments at the same time, more than likely it will get rejected and it'll come back verified. The older it is, the better it is. But you want to make sure that when you do this process, again, you're only doing no more than 2 at a time. My recommendation is always attack the 30-day if you have a lot of them. And if you just have one 30-day and the rest are paid on time, then that's okay too. You just have to just follow the rounds that I'm going to give you. But yeah, just bear that in mind. Attack 30-day. Once 30-day is fixed, everything else after it becomes inaccurate. And then it just becomes easier. And then 2 at a time, and then 2 at a time, so on and so forth until the whole thing becomes accurate. All right. Now, I'm going to give you some verbiage that you can actually use in order to dispute this with the credit bureaus through the CFPB. And we're going to see that on our Google slideshow. If you're doing round 1, this is the verbiage that I'm going to recommend that you use. So round 1 late payments. I recently reviewed my credit report and noticed an account that was not reporting accurately. I had 2 late payments on an account that was in fact paid on time. The consumer reporting agencies need to report all information with complete accuracy. This account has not been late on payments. I've attached a copy of my credit report to this complaint on the following dates. You would insert the date. If it's just 1 day, just change it to just date. I'm now requesting you investigate this account and update this late payment or these late payments to be paid on time immediately. Thank you for your understanding and prompt action. If you look at my previous video or you've seen it, the verbiage is very, very similar, right? I've had people email me back. They've had success with this after a few rounds. Some of them have had to repeat it a couple times, right? But it works. If this does occur and they come back and say that it's verified, here's your round 2. I am now requesting proof of the previous investigation. I'm asking that you send your method of investigation along with all the records of who you spoke with, their business address, name, and phone number, as well as documentation that proves this account was late. If you cannot provide me with this information in 15 days, update the account to paid, never late, and send me a copy of my updated credit report. All right. In this round 2, if you like, you can also reiterate which day or days are late. Again, no more than 2 at a time. My recommendation, if you have multiple, again, attack the 31st. Do 30, because once 30 is updated, everything after it becomes inaccurate. And then you can do 2 at a time, and it becomes so much easier when you attack it in that manner. So what I'm going to do next, we're going to go over to the CFPB, and then I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to submit this complaint to the credit bureaus and anything else that we might need to look for. All right, so we're going to start by going to the CFPB, that is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. We're going to scroll to the bottom and go to start a new complaint. If you don't have an account, you'll want to create one here. You'll sign up and verify your email address. If you have an account, You already know, click the blue link and we're going to sign in. So once you're signed in, you're going to click start a new complaint, which will be in the top right hand corner, and it'll take you here to the submit a complaint screen. So what is this complaint about? We're going to go to credit reporting and other personal information, and then we're going to go to credit reporting. Then we're going to go next. All right, on step 2, we're going to go to improper use of your credit report. And then we're going to go to reporting company used your report improperly. Now, have you already tried to fix this problem with the company? You select yes. Did you request the information from the company? You select yes. And then what information did they request? You don't have to fill this out. It's optional. Did the company provide this information? No. And then we click next. Now, for the what happened section, we're going to use our verbiage. I already copied it. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so that you're able to actually see it a little bit better. If you want, you can screenshot this and then copy it, save it into your notes, or put it into like a Google Documents, anything like that, Google Keep. And you're just going to make sure, insert your date, always add the month and the year. All right. And then for what would be a fair resolution, you can pretty much just take the last sentence. Now I'm requesting you investigate the account and update these payments or payment to on time immediately. So you can just copy the very last sentence. You can reiterate that exact same thing right here. Now here you want to attach your documents. I always recommend a screenshot of the late payment so they can take a look at it. And then I would also add my photo ID. Usually for this one, you don't really need all of the other documents, but if you just want to be, extra, just making sure that they can definitely not stall you out. You can add your photo ID, a screenshot of the late payment from that credit bureau. You can also add your social security card and a proof of address, which can be a utility bill. It could also be your insurance card, a bank statement, anything of that nature. The normal documents that I would recommend, you want to add those so they could be able, so they can identify you. For this one, you're probably wondering if you need to attach a screenshot from each credit bureau. I would only attach a screenshot that shows what you need to get fixed. For example, if you're trying to dispute with TransUnion, but TransUnion has conflicting information, or TransUnion is paid on time, and you're not trying to dispute both at the same time, or TransUnion, let's say, is worse off, only put the Experian one. If you're trying to get a correction from Equifax, but then TransUnion is showing information that is inaccurate, like it's not helping you or it doesn't make your case, only send the one that's going to make the case. If you have to send these separately, send them separately. But in this video, from what we're assuming, all the information is the same, and we need to make sure that we get these updated. So if everything is the same, you can send one screenshot from one credit bureau. Again, if all the information is the same and we can't compare it to anything, and we're not using that strategy to fix these late payments, you can just send one. So send that with all your information, and then we'll move on to the next step. And then here in the next step, we're going to put all of the credit bureaus. For this example, we're looking at updating this late payment for all three, right? So we're going to put Experian. The first one is fine. You would then enter last four of the social, your name as it appears on the report, and your date of birth. So you enter that information. And again, you want to enter your name as it appears on your credit report. Do you want to complain about another company? Yes. Next, we're going to add TransUnion. First one is fine. And we're going to repeat the exact same process as before. Have you already tried to fix the problem with the company? Yes, we did. Did you request information from the company? Yes, we did. Did the company provide this information? No, they did not. Repeat the exact same steps, guys. Nothing different here. And then your name as it appears on that credit report. And if you have multiple names or aliases, you can put those as well. Again, if it's Stephen Smith, Stephen D. Smith, Stephen Devin Smith, if all three of them show up, you could just pick one, and that's fine too. Do you want to complain about another company? Yes. And finally, we're going to get our last company here. First one that comes up is fine. Have you already tried to fix this problem with the company? Yes, we did. Did you request information from the company? Yes, we did. Optional again. Did they provide that information? No, they did not. And this one, it looks like it already tried to pre-fill for me, but sometimes you won't see the options like it just did for me. Just uncheck and check it again so that way it pulls up those options for you. All right. So we're all done. That is all our information. And now on this next step, who is submitting this complaint? I'm submitting it. I scroll down to the bottom. It's going to show your personal information. There it's going to show you like your address, your name, your age, phone number, things of that nature. You can skip all of the demographic information. You don't really have to put your age, your race, your military affiliation, your house size. All that's optional. You can just bypass that. And then you're going to hit review at the end. All right. So on the review, you're going to look at your complaint one last time. Make sure that you've attached all the information and everything is good. And then you check these last two boxes. I authorize and the information given is true to the best of my knowledge. And then you submit the complaint. When you submit the complaint, 3 complaint tabs are going to load. You don't want to refresh the screen. You don't want to go back. It can cancel your complaint. You want to wait, let them all load. You'll be receiving 3 emails with 3 different complaint numbers. They'll be from each credit bureau. Okay. Once you get those, the complaint is confirmed. It's completed. You don't need to go back to the CFPB again to get updates on your disputes. The CFPB will send you an automated message that everyone gets. It's going to say this dispute will be like resolved in 60 days. It takes 60 days for them to close it. It's usually resolved way before then. You'll normally get a response from the credit bureaus within like 7 days. They'll respond either with an update on the late payment, but if they don't update the late payment, you come back to the CFPB and then you submit the information for round 2. And I'll again zoom in a little bit so you can see that. And that is the round 2 verbiage. So you guys can screenshot that now, copy that now, and make sure that you have that. Now, if they update, you're good to go. You can restart the process with the round 1 verbiage. But this time, if you have a new report that shows you're 30 days late or you're on time, 60 days, 90 days, however long, now that's completely inaccurate. You can now do 2 at a time, right? So you would go to this one and say, hey, these 2 dates are wrong. They say 60 and 90, but I was paid on time this date. How does it jump from 60 to 90? You understand what I'm saying? Like you just add that in here. I recently reviewed a copy of my credit report. I had 2 late payments on an account that was in fact paid. That same thing. You put the dates. Then the chances of you getting those updated are highly likely. At that point is easy because it's a clear, blatant inaccuracy. You do those no more than 2 at a time. And even if you have a lot of these, you could really get this done in, if you do 2 a week, you had 3, you'll be done in 2 weeks, if everything goes well. If you had like 6, it may take you 3 weeks, but, in a month, that's fairly easy for getting all those late payments updated to on time. This does also work for accounts that are closed. So if you have an account that's closed, you can use the same method on those as well. It doesn't have to be an active account in order for you to update the payment history if the payment history is inaccurate. Okay. I hope this clarifies that. This was a question I was getting on the late payment videos for a very long time. So hopefully going forward, this will answer any future questions about late payments and also give you the most up-to-date verbiage on this. So I hope this was very helpful for you guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for your patronage and all your support. You guys have a wonderful day.